Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources with the hashtag How I Got Custody. Let me ask you a real serious question. Aren't you sick and tired of going on Father's Rights pages and groups and chats and all everybody talks about is how bad the system is and it's not changing? Aren't you tired of it? Aren't you tired of losing in your court case? How many years do you want to spend talking about how corrupt the family court system is while you miss out on your kids? Why don't you try and learn to fight the right way like I did in 2001 when I got full custody of my daughter without an attorney? I fought off a bogus attempt at a restraining order right from the jump. I got help, very little help, from one guy at Dads Against Discrimination, dadsamerica.org, which is now defunct. Bob Carls was a godsend. But he gave me this much. I'm literally giving you guys 100 times the free information, 100 times the information that I got, that I had back then when I won over and over. I'm giving you for free. And that's still not enough for you to know and master this stuff. If I would have had a James Christian, if there was a How I Got Custody page out there back then, my 7th month custody battle would have been 2 or 3 months max. I would have done stuff so much faster and so much easier. And you guys got the internet at your disposal. You got all kinds of free stuff available. But you need to get a consult to master this stuff. Usually it takes 5 hours of consults before somebody's totally independent of help from me. Now, some people get a consult with me and they'll run with it and they'll do their due diligence and they'll study everything that they can and they'll be obsessed about it. And there's stories of people coming back and doing well in court. But the average person needs a good 5 hours. You don't just learn any skill in life in a few quick minutes. You don't learn how to pass the final exam in college after attending class one time. And a lot of you guys, you'll watch me for months and months, and then you'll call me after you royally get screwed instead of getting ready. That's like a boxer not training, sitting around eating Twinkies all day, thinking he could beat another boxer. Mike Tyson taking Buster Douglas, not taking Buster Douglas seriously, and then showing up the day of the fight, and then afterward you want a rematch, you want to try to get, it's too late. You already screwed up. You didn't get ready for the fight. Now, why wouldn't you want to learn everything that's available to you? A lot of you guys are watching my videos and say, wow, that's deep. Let me use that. That's not the end of it, though. Look at a law library. There's thousands of books in there. You think that you just watch 1 or 2 of my videos and be ready to go in court? Or you could call me up the night before trial? People need 5 hours and practice mastering the stuff I talk about. Just think about driving. You didn't come out of the womb knowing how to drive. You had to take driver's ed. You had to practice. Or even if your parents showed you, they had to teach you every little aspect. There wasn't just you put your hands on the wheel and step on the gas. You got to know how to brake. If you got a manual transmission, you got to know how to shift. You got to check your blind spot, back around the corner, parallel park, know who to yield to, know what flashing lights mean. There's countless things you need to know on the road. Half these people out here can't drive now as adults. You think going in a court of law and dealing with something that you never knew or don't know and you're fresh at, that you don't need one-on-one help? Aren't you sick and tired of losing and having no hope and just hearing dark stories from everybody who's hopeless and whining and crying and pissing and moaning? Why don't you want to fix the stuff now? Why don't you want to look at somebody like me, who I show you my winning orders on my flow page, is linked in my TikTok bio, is linked in my Instagram bio, it's under every YouTube video, is linked in every post in Facebook most of the time, except these automatic posts. But you can still find it if you have half the common sense God gave a monkey and you're not lazy. All you got to do is search my page and find the link. And boom, there's a bunch of resources there that your attorney never even showed you. You spent $10, $20, $100,000 on your attorney and I'm giving you free stuff. And then you're mad at me when I want to charge you for a consult and one-on-one expertise and learning more than what your attorney told you. This is what's going on is insane. It's like the Twilight Zone. And my gender, who are the victims usually, are just as bad. They're just as delusional as the women who abuse them, because you think you should just walk into court and get stuff for free because I should have my kids. Well, kids should also be free of being trafficked and abused, and there shouldn't be any graping in the world. There shouldn't be any war. But we live in a fallen world and it's corrupt. So grow up and be a man and grow some balls and stop being a little kitty cat and realize this is war. I had kids with a crazy woman. I need to go to war. And the faster you go to war, the quicker you will get some I've had guys who filed stuff and the mother wanted to settle immediately because he finally got some balls and got on the offensive instead of trusting the system and following the procedure and listening to their attorney and going through the motions and going to mediation and yakety yak and talk and talk. Aren't you sick of talking? This is why I talk so harshly. I'm sick of everybody talking about how the system doesn't work, and I've won in court, and I proved to you that I won, and I should be going viral for this stuff. But you know what goes viral? A meme of a dad being depressed because he's not with his kids and he's in an empty house. Because all dads matter 247. The Father's Rights Movement, Mark Ludwig, the tough dad who likes to dance around like a solid gold booty clapping rap video hoe. All these people are getting followers and attention because they're preying on your emotions, saying, hey, click on this, watch this, follow me, and we're going to talk about how bad the system is. I don't got any answers for you, but we're going to sit here and commiserate together. Who wants to do that? Except gossiping, lazy bum women who sit around and gossip and whine and cry about how bad things are for them. Aren't you sick and tired of that? Don't you want to actually get some help? If you do, then get some. What do you got to lose spending a few $20 bills with me? What do you got to lose? Talking to somebody who actually won without an attorney and has helped thousands of people win? What do you have to lose? You are literally, if you don't believe in the spiritual world, you are literally, it doesn't matter. You are literally blinded by the devil because you're so dumb. You will go and pay thousands to an attorney who lost and lost and lost, and you keep paying them to keep losing for you. And then you spend all your time and energy blogging on Facebook groups or the Father's Rights Movement chats, whining about the system when you can spend that energy on strategies to get on the offensive to help you get your kid. If you wanted to be a Division I basketball player and you got cut from your high school team as a sophomore or freshman, and there's a Michael Jordan basketball camp down the road, and he promises to teach you every skill that he knows and how hard he worked and all the drills that he did, you'd be an idiot not to go and spend a few bucks and go there. But 90% of lazy bums would say, oh, that's Michael Jordan. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He cheated to get where he's at, or I'll never be like that, and whine. Instead of, the vast majority of people in the world are sheep and lazy and bums and don't take action. They sit in the bleachers and watch. There's the 10% that I'm after that want to actually get help. And then of that, only 10% of that, so really only 1% of you are actually going to take action and be consistent with it. A lot of those guys will give up if they lose their first hearing. I lost my first 3 hearings. And then I got 5 days a week. I fought off a bogus restraining order attempt. So I kind of, they continued it, then it fell off. And then I got nothing at my first visitation hearing. Then I went from a commissioner to a judge and I appealed a motion for revision. I talked to people in Washington or other places where the attorney doesn't even tell you that you have an option to appeal a magistrate decision or a friend of the court's decision to a judge or do a reconsideration. And I did it because I scratched, when I knew nothing, I scratched and clawed for the information. I found these answers, and you guys got these answers at a fingertip, and you got expertise, help available to you, and you don't want to get it. That's on you. That's your loss. And see, when I get up here and chew people out for being PABs, punk, derriere, female dogs, because men, the biggest problem are 3 things with men. You're either lazy, you're a coward, or you're dumb. Even if you're dumb, you could get some help from somebody that can help make up for your ignorance or being dumb. But you don't want to do it. You just won't pull the trigger and won't. What do you got to? You're spending. You trusted an attorney in blind faith and gave them $5 to $10 grand up front, and then they lost and they lost and they lost, and you keep paying them money. You keep paying them money. How stupid is that? You put your car in the shop, you drive it off, and then it breaks down a couple days later, and they say, well, you got to pay all over again. And then you do it again. You got to pay all. No, you're gonna fix this because you didn't fix it like you promised it. We wouldn't do that with the car. Why do we do that with an attorney? And why wouldn't you talk to a winner? Do I scare you off because I talk harshly? I'm talking harshly to wake people up. I don't talk like this in consultations unless somebody over and over and over and over didn't listen to me. I'm like, dude, you got to grow some balls. I might raise my voice to something like that. I had to do that with a guy the other day because he walked into court assuming the court would do something because he made up his own rules in his own mind and didn't learn how to do stuff. And he didn't call me even though I was available and he had talked to me before. He needed help on a specific issue. He trusted his own instinct and didn't look up the rules. And I asked him about the law and chalk service. He doesn't even know the basics that I talk about all the time. So some of you guys, you're your own worst enemy. If you want some real help, it takes a good 5 hours for people to master this stuff. Over the course of a month, 4 or 5 consults with me. And then when trial gets close, it takes another 5 hours to master and get ready for trial. So I have people calling me like day before trial. You got any tips? Yeah. dive in. You should have been working on this all along. Anyway, get a consult.